The fate of 5 generals continues today as the Dweghom and the Wadroon meet on the field of battle. Welcome to the Fate of 5 Generals, our ongoing series to grow and paint our forces for Conquest, the last argument of kings. We are currently at our third milestone in the campaign with our forces painted up to 1,400 points. If you've missed any of the action, check out our playlist to catch up on anything you might have missed. Before we begin, we wanted to offer a huge thank you to those of you who have used our affiliate link with Parabellum to secure a discount on a Conquest purchase. If you would like to do this as well, you can enter Maelstrom 10 in the discount voucher box at checkout on the Parabellum eStore. Doing so earns you a 10% discount on your order, and the Maelstrom will earn an affiliate fee for your efforts. This brings no cost to you, saves you money on your order, and helps continue to support our efforts at making the best Conquest videos possible. This is it, the final game in Milestone 3. So far we have seen the 100 Kingdoms break their losing streak and several close-fought games throughout. Today, the Dweghom and the Wadroon meet once more. They have amassed mighty victories throughout this campaign, with the only loss for either force coming in their first outing against one another. Today, Put-Hut is back, with an attempt to snatch first place away from the Wadroon. If records are tied, then we go to overall campaign points for a tiebreaker, and there's every chance that this game will knock the Wadroon out of first and put the Dweghom on top. Stay tuned. Game 15 is next. So here it is, our table for the final game in Milestone 3. The Wadroon will be coming from this side, the Dweghom their opposite. So as before, we have 3 objectives, 2 points for scoring the objectives on the flank, 1 point for scoring the center. You have to be within 3 inches of these objectives and within 1.5 inches of this objective. If you go into the house, you have a garrison of 3 stands and you get +1 to your defense in there. Same here on the boat in the defense. You get +1, but you have the capacity for 4 stands here rather than 3. So that is the table. We'll be back as the action gets underway.
So for the Dweghom, I have an Ardent Caraway. He has the Mastery of Flaming Oratory and a Tier 3 Tactical Retinue for the flank and rerolling resolves. He also has Dismay. He will be running with my 5 stands of Flame Berserkers that have a Standard Bearer. And he also has a mainstay of 3 stands of Hold Warriors with a Standard Bearer. I also have a Hold Ray. He has Tier 2 Tactical just to get eccentric so that he can have 5 stands of Inferno Automata. He also has 3 stands of Hold Ballista with no upgrades and 3 stands of Hold Warriors that he will be running with a leader and a Standard Bearer.
For the Wadroon at 1,400 points, I started off with a Scion of Conquest. His group is dedicated to death, although that won't matter for him or his braves since he does have the Mantle of the Devoted. And Conquest level 3, they are fanatics and count as following the Cult of Conquest. He also has Cacophony and Crescendo for his spells. He has a group of 5 Braves that he is going to run with, 5 stands of Braves. They have a leader and a Standard Bearer. He also has 5 stands of Blooded. They have a Standard Bearer, and they are going to be devoted to death since they're not running with him. For my second character, I have a Predator who is on Cavalry. The Predator has Wasteland Adder as his mastery, and then for draw events, he has Fire in Advance, and his cult is going to be Famine, and that will cut across all of his units as well. He has 4 Raptor Riders. They have a Huntress, also dedicated to Famine. Then we have 3 stands of Slingers, no upgrades there. And then 3 stands of Hunters. They have a leader and a skirmisher. Turn 1 reinforcements for the Dweghom. The Ardent Caraway has Tactics Tier 3, so he's going to bring the Flame Berserkers in automatically. 2 light units remain. 1 will arrive. For the Wadroon, 3 light units, the Predator is going to bring in the Raptor Riders automatically. So that leaves Hunters and Slingers for reinforcement rolls. 1 will arrive. First turn initiative roll, no advantage. Both armies will have 3 units in their deck. The Wadroon are on white, and the Wadroon will have first activation. Turn 1 rolls to an end. The Raptor Riders and the Predator have moved to the center, with the Slingers coming on behind them. The Flame Berserkers in the center as well, and the Hold Ballista joining on this flank. So that is it for turn 1. 2 with reinforcements is next. The Dweghom have 1 light remaining and 2 mediums. So the light will show up, the mediums will remain out of play. The Wadroon have 1 light and 1 medium. The Braves and the Scion are going to automatically show up because the Scion has Tactics Tier 3. So the black die will be for the light unit on 3s, and the white die will be for the medium unit. Neither unit will show up this turn. Turn 2 initiative, the Dweghom will have advantage. It will go to the Wadroon. Turn 2 is underway. The Wadroon 1 activation moved their Braves on with their first activation. Ardent Curaway went second to Bastion the Flame Berserkers. Next was the Scion of Conquest. He has cast Crescendo to get a level 2 Conquest chant put on the ladies here. They're going to fire with their first activation. They did use Fluid Formation. They're going to be refaced in this direction. We'll get that after we move them. But they are going to go ahead and fire into the Flame Berserkers. The only one in range is going to be the Predator, needing 3s or less. She's going to hit them 1 time, and that's armor piercing 1. Good to go. So for their final activation, the Raptors and the Predator moved in this direction. The Ballista moved forward to occupy the garrison here. The Flame Berserkers have double marched to take the center of the table, and the Slingers have moved forward. They're going to fire into the Flame Berserkers. They're going to score 3 hits. Good. 1 will go down because that's armor piercing 1. Turn 2 is finished up at that point. The Flame Berserkers have carried the Ardent Curaway in range of this objective, so they're going to be scoring a point for the turn. No secondaries yet, correct?
Correct.
All right, so it is 1-0 in favor of the Dweghom. The Dweghom have 2 medium units to bring in on 3s this turn. 1 of them will arrive. The Wadroon will get their Slingers this turn, and then they will have the Blooded remaining for reinforcement, so 1 on a 3+. They are here. Initiative for turn 3, the Dweghom will still have advantage. And the Dweghom will have first activation. First activation is going to be the Ardent Curaway. He is casting Dismay onto the Raptor Riders. They are dismayed. The Scion has searched the deck for the Wadroon first activation. Is going to be the Slingers. They are chanting a level 2 Famine. They moved once to step in and screen the Raptor Riders from a charge, and they are slinging against the Flame Berserkers. Got 1 die off the table, so we'll just reroll that here. So far we have 3 hits, and then we have Torrential Fire. 3 hits is all we got, so 3 at AP 1. Got 2. The Flame Berserkers are next activation. They have charged into the Slingers and are going to clash.
Needing 4s for the Berserkers with Flurry. 9 from the Berserkers. And needing 3s for the Ardent. 1 from the Ardent.
All right, defense. A mighty 1 for the Slingers. Well, it was mighty this time. So we lost 3 there, or past 3. I'll get it right in a second. So we have 7 that went down, and then they are resolved 3. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good grief. I paid for the good roll on the first time, so that will wipe out these Slingers. Next up, we searched for the Predators card and used Fire in Advance since the Raptors were on the top of the deck. That way we could go ahead and activate both. The Raptors reformed. They are keeping their broken token. They reformed in a single wide line here. to get a charge across the front. This lady did have to cross the ice waste, but she did pass her check there. So we have locked in against them now. We are inspiring and clashing. We're chanting Famine 2, so we're going to get +2 to our clash for inspiring. Right, Predator misses once, and then Flurry for the ladies. 23 saves on the Flame Berserkers. And no cleave, so they're going to be saving on 4s and less.
6.
One more.
7.
Yep, 7. And then resolve. Good to go. All right, after the Raptor Riders combat here, the Infernal Automata repositioned forward for an attack in the following turn, and the Blooded moved onto the table here to deal with them if they do move up in this direction. So the Ballista are next. They're going to be taking aim and volleying against the Raptors.
3.
3 hits. All right, armor piercing 1, but the Raptors are evade 2, and we're going to take 3 wounds. As the turn closes up, the Scion and the Braves advanced and charged here against the terrain piece. Since they did move, they were unable to swing any attacks this turn. The Scion was our last activation. He cast Cacophony here to block Bastion on the Flame Berserkers next turn. And we are going to hold this objective because of that. The Scion, or the Kiraway is still holding this objective. He's pushed us too far this way to get a hold of it. So it is going to be 2-2 because no secondaries have been scored yet. Moving into turn 4 next. So initiative for turn 4, the Wadroon have the advantage since the Slingers went down. And the Wadroon will take it. Supremacy phase, Aura of Death. 2 stands of Flame Berserkers are in contact with the Raptor Riders. Evade 2. Wow, they managed to evade the flames. With their first activation, the Predator activated and used Fire in Advance to activate the Raptors. They are going to chant the second Famine marker and then chant the Battle Cry. So we're going to do a level 1 Famine for +2 Resolve. Was considering a rally, but we're going to take the chance for the tribes and try to do some damage before these Flame Berserkers get in the fight. So needing 4s to clash with the Raptors and 5s with the Predator. You see any more?
No.
And Flurry. Everyone missed on the Flurry. 21 saves on the Flame Berserkers. Ugh, that's a lot of 6s.
They're dead.
All right, that will shatter the Flame Berserkers. The Kiraway does get to go fight before he goes down, though.
1.
1 hit. Evade 2. Takes a wound that will down a Raptor. And then resolve. Takes another wound. First activation for the Dweghom was going to be the Flame Berserkers and then the Ardent Kiraway. The Infernal Automata will be going now. They're going to attempt to charge against the Hunters, needing a 4. That'll do it. The Automata are in combat. No impact attacks because they are not medium or heavy, but they do get their normal attacks. So they're inspiring, and that's 4s, right?
Yep.
Ouch time.
7.
All right, their defense 1, so that is 7. And 7 at resolve 2. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once again, exactly enough. With the Hunters destroyed, the next activation for the Wadroon is going to be the Braves. They're chaining a Conquest card into the sequence, inspiring and clashing against their Hold Ballista foes. So needing 3s on the white dice, 4s on the black and purple. So we got 3 for the Scion, 6 for the Braves with a leader, 7. So 7 at normal and 3 at cleave 2.
7.
That'd just be 2, because remember you got a garrison defense bonus.
4.
3, 4. Dang, nice.
5. 6.
At this point, the Hold Ray has moved up onto the flank here, and the Hold Ballista have moved up in this direction. The Blooded are the final activation for the Wadroon. They're chanting a level 2 death against the Infernal Automata. So they need 4s and less. And they do have Flurry. All right, so that's going to be 11 standard saves and 4 flawless strike hits. So that will put 1 down and 11 saves. So that'll be 9, right, altogether for resolve.
11, 12, 13.
13, and I'm trying to think, did you have +1 resolve still? No, because you had lost 2 before you rolled resolve. So that would be
14.
14 altogether. Last activation for the Dweghom is going to be the Hold Ballista. There are 6 of them remaining. They're going to Inspire and Clash against the Braves. Leader?
Nope.
So 1, right? Because they're Clash 1. All right, so 1 shields, takes 1 down. They are Resolve 5. Good to go. As the turn rolls to an end, the Wadroon are still going to be holding the objective here, and they're going to score 1 secondary for chanting the battle cry and destroying the Flame Berserkers. So that is going to be 5-2, correct?
Yep.
5-2 in favor of the Wadroon as turn 5 gets underway. Initiative for turn 5, no advantage. Both armies have lost 2 units. The Wadroon will take it again. Supremacy phase, the Infernal Automata are going to do Aura of Death against the Blooded. That's going to be 2 hits on defense 2. That will get 1, and they are resolved 4 right now because of rank bonus. Good to go. First activation for the Wadroon is the Sign of Conquest. He is going to use Crescendo, which goes to the Braves. It's going to give us a level 2 Conquest in the chant pool, but we are not chanting. We are going to use our first activation to clash against the Hold Ballista, and then the second one will be a withdrawal in this direction. So needing 2s on the white and 3s on the black, which I don't have, so I'm going to roll separate dice for those. Stand by. So 6 plus a leader. Another one there, so 7 hits against them. That's at standard defense. 3. The 4 is good because you're in garrison, so.
Yep.
So 3 and then resolve. So never mind, that'll get them all. For their second activation, with the Hold Ballista being completely destroyed, they marched sideways here to put the wreck between them and the Ray for the charge. Next up is going to be the Automata. They are rallying with their first action and then clashing against the Blooded for their second. 4 hits. All right. Wow. 1 Blooded will fall. Still rank bonus. 1 Blooded total. The Blooded are answering by dropping a death marker into the sequence and then chanting tier 2 death against the Infernal Automata. Needing 4s and less to hit. And then flurry. So 8 standard saves and 3 smites from Flawless Strike.
They're dead.
Was that enough? 6? Yep, you're right. That's exactly enough. So that will bring the Automata down. After combat, the Hold Warriors march forward here to get to the objective. They are 3.5 inches away. Could not hardly get there this turn. The Raptor Riders have pushed through the gap here, swung up, and then did a fluid formation to face at the rear of the Hold Warriors here. The Ray was a dead activation this turn. His Hold Warriors, however, have moved forward and are now charging. They need a 2 to make it into the flank of the Braves. You do have a standard. Barely. It's been one of those games. I'm so glad that went right for you. Turn 5 comes to an end with the Warriors making a march and then a charge against the Braves. That is going to give this objective to the Dweghom. The score for that turn is going to push it to, 5-4, right?
Yep.
5-4 in favor of the Wadroon. Initiative for turn 6. The Dweghom do have the advantage. The Dweghom finally have first turn. First up for the Dweghom is going to be the Hold Warriors. They're inspiring and clashing. Black is for the Ray, you said?
Yep. So 4 from the Ray.
All right.
And 2 from the Warriors.
All right, so the Warriors have no cleave. What's the Ray at right now?
Cleave 1.
All right, cleave 1 for the Ray. So here's the Rays needing 1s. Made 1. And needing 2s against the Hold Warriors. Wow, made both of those. So 3 guys go down. We are resolved 5. Good to go. We did forget the flank reroll for morale, which did bring down 1 Brave. So that was a whole stand rather than 3. So the Braves have reformed. They passed their reform, no problems there, and they're going to be clashing with no inspire against the Ray and his brothers. The blacks are going to be for the sign. So 4 so far. No help from the leader this time. So 3 against your standard and 1 on cleave 2.
Standard. Cleave 2.
So 3. Next activation for the Wadroon is going to be the Raptor Riders. Predator went first, and then Chanted Famine activated them with Fire in Advance. They're going to charge this turn. They are going to chant a level 2 Famine, so +2 to their clash for inspiring, and +2 to the charge, which made the charge automatic. Needing 4s on the white dice and 5s on the black. Kicker. Kicker. So 11 saves on the Hold Warriors. We are in the back, so no shield, so there'll be defense 2, correct?
Yep.
7 so far.
They're dead.
That'll get them. So they will be destroyed. Before the Hold Warriors went down, we did have a dual attempt here, which the Scion is not suicidal, so he denied that and broke his unit. Down here, the Blooded did a double march. They're just out of range of this objective. Couldn't hardly get there this turn. So the Wadroon are scoring 2 points for destroying this unit. They scored 1 for destroying a unit that was a heavier class than them, and 1 for destroying a unit in the same turn that they charged. And the Dweghom are pulling down 2 points for an objective. So it is 7-6 in favor of the Wadroon as we go into turn 7. Activation for turn 6. The Dweghom will have advantage. The Dweghom will take it. The Hold Ray is activating first. Since we are broken, we're going to have to fight him one way or another. So the Scion steps up. We're going to duel. So the Ray is 4 because he does not have a combat retinue in this game. So we are going to be on our evade 2. 2 will go to the Scion. The Scion will have 4 attacks in return, needing 3s and less. 1 hit on the Ray at cleave 2. Hey, we wounded the Ray. The Scion checks himself over, finds that he is not cut in half to everyone's surprise, including his own, and then uses Crescendo to rally to give the squad an activation. We're not going to chant. We're just going to pump 2 Conquest markers into the sequence, and then we're going to inspire and clash. So we're needing 3s on the white dice, 4s on the black, and 1 reroll. No help there. So we have 8 at normal defense and 4 at cleave 2.
4 at cleave 2.
It'll get 4, right?
Yeah. And normal defense.
7. Good to go. 2 Hold Warriors remain. Dweghom's second and final activation for the turn is the Hold Warriors. They're going to inspire and clash.
Flaunch through the Hold Ray. Kicker.
Ouch. So everything, right?
Yep.
All right, so we got 2 on defense 3. Save those, thank goodness, because I got a feeling this part's going to be bad. 6.
Yep.
At cleave 1, needing 2s. That'll get 5. We will still have a stand bonus. We are good to go. With the Dweghom finished, the Wadroon are finishing their turn up. These Blooded marched forward and then reformed. The Raptors are using a Fire in Advance. They have moved to here and are firing for their second activation. The only one in range is going to be the Predator with her bow. Hitting on 3s. She scores 2 hits, which are armor piercing 1.
They're dead.
And that'll do it. She threaded the needle somehow and took those 2 Dweghom out. So that will be a Wadroon victory. Good game, sir. What a heartbreaking loss for the Dweghom. I made a terrible mistake with my Raptor Riders on the second turn and left them open for a flank charge from the Flame Berserkers just to get a handful of shots off. I didn't realize how far the double march was going to carry the Berserkers, and I knew as soon as he moved them that I was in trouble. I really think that if he had activated the Flame Berserkers first in turn 3, the course of the entire game could have easily tipped. After the Slingers sacrificed themselves to keep the game clean intact, there were a couple of other moments where it could have easily gone his way. It just wasn't in the dice, however, and they were unable to bring it back after those crushing defeats in early clashes. If you enjoy what you're seeing and want to support the channel, Patreon is one option to do so. For the cost of a coffee once a month, you can help support the channel and enable us to continue expanding our technology for better battle reports. You're free to cancel this support at any time, and the support comes with unique perks. You get access to ad-free versions of our videos, and you can see them earlier than anyone else. Also, gain access to voting rights for upcoming videos in terms of factions played and missions used. You'll also see your name right here following each of our videos. What patrons do for content creators is of incredible value because they free us to spend more time making content for your entertainment. To our patrons, we offer a sincere thank you. Your support of our dream means more than we can ever say. That's Milestone 3 wrapped up, with plans to expand to 1,800 points next for 5 more games. Once that is finished, we've decided to go to 2,200, where we will do a round-robin match where each faction plays one more game against every other player. Only then will we be finished with our Fate of 5 Generals. That's 15 games down and 15 more to go. Be sure to check back next week as we do a wrap-up for Milestone 3 and also begin our 1,800 point games in earnest.